Hi, welcome to Landscape of Mothers. I'm Jill Clifton. And this is kind of part 3, maybe, of a series of videos about what it means to be a person who does family differently than our family of origin. And so we've talked a little bit about, or I've talked a little bit about it in a couple of videos about the difference between like anchoring what we want in our values as opposed to having sort of a rubric or a set of behaviors that we exhibit, or that we, certain things that we do in certain situations. And I guess the question then comes to, how do we do that? How do we learn to regulate our nervous system so that we can be the beacons for our children when they're feeling upset, to find their way back to a sense of groundedness and maybe to calmness. And for in Landscape of Mothers, that would be a sun and moon mother job, is learning how to tend to our own nervous systems. And it has to do with relearning how we respond to our own distress. And it gives us much more capacity, and it gives us the behaviors. Actually, it hands us the behaviors to how we deal with our children's dysregulation or times when they're upset or disappointed. And by doing that, we allow them to find their way into their own sense and skills around self-soothing. So Sun and Moon Mother would suggest that our skills around our own ability to talk kindly to ourselves internally, to accept and work with the feelings that we're having, to recognize them as guideposts, as information about what's bothering us or what we need or what needs to happen around us, what kind of environment we need to lower the intensity inside of our nervous systems, and to bring back then our capacity for thinking about or solving any problem that might be in front of us that needs some attention. Our emotions are our gateways to that. And if we grew up in a situation where our emotions were not okay with the family around us, we likely did not learn those skills and techniques. And there's so many of them. Sun and Moon Mother is about anything that regulates us, that feels soothing, that feels gentle, that feels compassionate. And so it's in that realm, it's sort of about how do we learn how to take care of ourselves when we're distressed. And then the behaviors that we want to bring to our kids to teach them how to do it all show up without us having to think very hard or to hold them as behaviors, and trying to scan the environment for what are the cues that this is the behavior, that there's a behavior that I need to express. So I highly recommend taking some time with Sun and Moon Mother, finding the tools that you have that help you. They're different for everyone. They can be about breathing, they can be about taking a pause, they can be about, recognizing that this is a signal that I need to eat or sleep. It can be a signal that we're really tired. And so in some respects, I can't give you here's your 3-step process to regulating your nervous system. It's something that's unique to each individual, and it takes some reflection and some practice. And it often takes reordering and reorganizing some of the messages that we got. So if we're distressed and we were in a family that didn't accept our emotions, like we heard things like, if you keep crying, I'll give you something to cry about, or there's no crying in this house, or whatever, then we learned to suppress those things, and we thought of them as problematic and bad. And so reorganizing or reflecting on how, what were the things that we actually needed to have happen to teach us to regulate. So I hope that points you in the right direction in terms of building your own nervous system capacity, so that the behaviors that you want come from your capacity to regulate and your clarity on your visions and the desires that you have around what you want your family culture to look like. The behaviors come naturally out of those things. Thanks.